Hello, my friends. Paul here, WESPN, of course, with my good friend Scott, and welcome to this week's episode. Now, Scott, the easy topic today would obviously be the election, but I'm going to put politics aside, and there's no better day to put politics aside, no better week to put politics aside than election week and give everybody a break from that. We're going to do something that we've never done before. I'm actually going to interview you, podcast style, so your clients and our friends and our prospective clients out there can get to know you a little bit.
Yes.
And you know what? I did this with Cody Krause a couple weeks ago. We'll put the link to that podcast below. Got to make it a little bit about myself too, right? And while I was doing that podcast, I was just sitting there during it in my head. I'm like, man, I would love to do this with Scott.
Okay, awesome. Yeah,
And
quite the curveball.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Scott is totally unprepared for this. He came in, he goes, what's going on with this week's episode of WSPN? I actually said that this morning because we sometimes lack a little bit of prep on this episode, but
we're busy, you know.
But we always sit down in the morning and we have an idea of what we want to talk about. And I said, Scott, don't worry, I got this episode. So, without further ado, we're going to get to know the legend, Scott Innocente, today. Now, Scott, let's start from the beginning. Who are you outside of real estate?
Yeah, great question. So number one, I hate being in the spotlight. I have to be honest.
I know. That's why
I don't like talking about myself.
No.
So that's the first point. But yeah, I guess outside of real estate, I don't have like a ton of hobbies, to be honest. Like I kind of got past all those hobbies from my younger days. But I would say my hobbies become actually business, and right now we're doing some development, stuff like that, investing. I'm passionate about that, educating. I love doing like educational videos and content, stuff like that, podcasts. So that's kind of become my hobby. I recently got married as well.
Awesome.
And no family yet, but sometime on the horizon here. So
love that.
Yep.
Now, before real estate, what were you up to?
Well,
actually, when did you get? What year did you get licensed?
Honestly, I don't know. 2020-ish, 2019.
It's probably the late of 2018. We were in that old office for 5 years, and you opened that with us, and then obviously we've been here for almost about 8 months now. So probably six years ago, I would say you got licensed.
Yeah, I think I'm in my seventh year, heading into. So yeah, sounds about right. So prior to that, I've only had a few jobs. I was a dishwasher and line cook at the old Whistling Kettle, if you're familiar with the old farm breakfast there. Yeah. And then from there I went to I was a mall security guard. Best job I've ever had. Definitely my most favorite job.
Protecting the
Not
world,
the highest
Craig.
paying, but
protecting the world.
Yeah,
Craig.
well, I thought at the time I thought I was pretty big stuff there.
Probably see some interesting stuff at a lot of shoplifting, a lot of
just teeny stuff,
yeah.
teeny boppers, ruckus, stuff like that. Yeah, it was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, for sure.
And then all while that was going on, I was doing law and security police foundations at the college, and I went to the University of Windsor for criminology. And my goal was to be a police officer. Yep. And then I took a step there to become a border officer, where I was at the Ambassador Bridge for about 11 years. And then randomly met you at while I was getting my license. I just wanted to buy investment properties. Met you at the wedding for Ryan Castle on there. And then, what was it, a year later, just our paths crossed again, and you told me you were building this team, and I was getting my license, and I wanted to quit the border, and now here we are.
Actually, it worked out a little bit different than that from what I remember. So Ryan was a client of mine, and you guys were partnering up on some properties. So you and Ryan were investor clients of mine, and I remember you were living in Ottawa, right?
Yeah, moving back to Windsor.
So living in Ottawa, moving back to Windsor, I'd have showings with them. And did you used to take the train from time to time?
Once or twice. Usually I drove, but yeah.
So from what I remember is like the train was delayed, this, that, the other. So it's like the showing's at 7 p.m. He's running 30 minutes, 45 minutes behind. I was in obviously a different stage of my career as well. Kids were probably either not born or super young, and that's how we met through Ryan. Then of course the epic speech at Ryan's wedding kind of piqued my interest, and then they approached me one day and said, "Listen, we got bad news. Scott's getting his real estate license," and I said, "That's actually not bad news because I think I'm going to start a team, and I would love, after Scott's speech, of course, I would love if you would join my team." and you were all in, and but I said, but I need an office first, right? So we brought you over to Royal LePage, found an office, fit that out, and then you joined us over there, which was, and it's been,
I skipped over all that.
yeah, and it's been honestly, it's been an honor ever
same.
since. Do you know the exact like kind of turning point while you're at the border that said, you know what, I'm going to get into real estate?
I do. I was living in, I was in Ottawa at the headquarters for CBSA. I had transferred jobs for a couple of years, wanted to get some new scenery. And while I was there, I met, who's now a real estate agent and investor, but at the time he was just a colleague at the border. Mm-hmm. And he was on this path of like real estate investing, and he was getting his license to buy his own properties. And he had talked about financial freedom and all this stuff. And I, at the time, like I loved the stock market and whatnot. I had nothing to do with real estate, but over time he had convinced me that like real estate's probably it's probably the best investment you can make long-term. And after over a year to year and a half of just being it into me, he introduced me to a couple of books as well, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And once I had read these books, I was like, okay, it's over. My mind had completely shifted. And then I decided I'm going to buy rental properties. And then over the next 5 years, I want to retire from the CBSA and just do real estate. Maybe it's a great idea to get my real estate license so I can show myself my own properties. I don't have to call an agent and bug them, whatever the case is. I can look at MLS. I had no real interest in becoming a real estate agent, to be honest, like zero. In fact, I thought I'd be terrible at it. I'm not like the most outgoing person, et cetera, et cetera. So when you had asked me that fateful day to, if I wanted to join your team, I was thinking like, not really. Like I do, because I know you're like, one of the top performing agents in the city, maybe in the world even. But so I knew it was a great opportunity. At the same time, like, I don't want to be an agent. I want to be good at this. Like I'm a border guy. I've never done any business. I'm not good at sales, whatever the case is. And so that was kind of the mind shift that happened when I wanted to be a real estate agent, but it was only for myself as an investor, not actually a realtor.
Which is interesting, because I think a lot of agents who are licensed, they only get licensed for that reason and they stay in that lane. Whereas with you took the opportunity to say, hey, you know what, maybe I can do this. And I think you just threw yourself in the right environment to kind of see how business is done and how the realtor side of it is done. Because obviously you've benefited from it from the investor standpoint, but you've kind of taken the real estate agent aspect of it and have excelled quite a bit at that too.
Oh, for sure. Being in this environment, and anybody that's looking to get into real estate, like joining a high performing team with great mentorship it accelerated my learning curve by a decade, I would say. Just learning and being in this environment and hearing what you guys talk about. And
yeah, I get to have, I was actually talking to Jamar about this yesterday, and I think the most important conversation we ever had was when you were first starting out and you're working with buyers and said, man, I just can't, I don't get it. Like, I mean, I just feel like I'm opening doors and I'm not really providing any value. I said, well, what's the process looking like? It's like, well, it's real estate. They tell me what they want to see and then I go show it. And I said, they're not seeing value in you because you're not telling them what they should be seeing and you're not putting opportunities in front of them. And then I think like that moment, your mindset shifted and it was like off to the races.
It shifted from door opener to advisor in somebody's biggest financial purchase of their lives. Mm-hmm. And then learning from you with the negotiating as well is a huge part of it. And I mean, you're talking like $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 swings. Yeah. If you know what you're doing in negotiating and understanding comparable sales and where you're at.
Awesome negotiator too. I mean, we from time to time within the office have to negotiate with each other. And I got to be honest with you, like they're the hardest negotiations.
Oh yeah.
We're not doing anybody any favors. It's all about the client, of course. And the hardest negotiations are when they're when they're with each other on the same team. You would think that that probably wouldn't be the case. Well, hey, they're extremely hard negotiators because everybody in here is a great negotiator. So it's I always found that super interesting that the deals that are done, and again, it doesn't happen all the time or even often, but they're very hard negotiations. I'm actually pretty proud of that.
Yeah, you think it'd be the opposite, but it's
I'll just do this. Yeah. No, they're like we like almost double down on the negotiating.
Yeah, it's so true. Yeah.
And have some fun with it after the fact that it's done, if we even get the house. So as a new agent, Was it what you expected
Um,
when you
it
were
was
first starting out?
Yeah, it was hard. It's all customer service. Like you don't really know what you're doing. I don't know the market. I don't know the different locations. And like, Forest Glade has this issue and Riverside has this issue with flooding and Tecumseh's known for this and this. And I'm just running around like, I didn't feel like I was adding a lot of value because I didn't really know. At the same time, it's really the only way to learn for me is to get thrown in the fire and figure it out and then come to mentors when needed. So was it expected? I didn't have any expectations because I didn't really want to do it. With investors, it was a little bit different because I already spoke the language. There's a different language, right? You're showing a property from a different perspective. So that's really how my business started to take off, was through that.
Oh, for sure.
And then on the regular buyer side, it was just kind of natural evolution and what have you. So
I think for you, because you started heavy just when you got into the business, the investor market was going insane.
it was
right?
berserk, yeah.
And you had such a vested interest in it yourself, so you went that way. And I think for you that was massive because you got to learn the business through something that you really enjoyed. Investor clients and residential sales and buys are totally different. On the investor side, there's a lot less emotion. It's numbers, it's bottom lines, and it's totally different. So I think for you to learn that way was massive for you, and then you just kind of parlayed slowly into the resale market, new construction, and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a great point. If I can touch on it a little bit, like I take my approach, even with a quote unquote regular buyer, somebody buying a first home or any home, is actually I start from like a market value perspective, and because it's an investment as well, and you have to look 10 years down the road. Am I going to make significant money on this to trade up or be able to trade down and sell my property for a profit? So my mindset is first, like, okay, what's the market value here? Like, how can we get a good deal here? How can we negotiate this price lower? So I still keep that investor cap on all the time, even if it's not an investment property, because the worst thing that you can have happen is buy something, have your client overpay for it. Maybe there's multiple offers. You pay 10 or 15 grand over market value. A year later, you got to sell it. Something changed and you got to take a loss now because you overpaid. And I don't want to be in that situation ever. So just, some stuff I've taken from the investment side to the regular side there, I would say.
Do you remember any challenges that you faced at the start, whether, real estate wise or just mindset wise, that getting into the business? I mean, getting into the business there's so many difficult parts to it, but does anything stick out to you?
I mean, it was everything really, but I think it's just confidence and like not feeling confident in my value because you don't have a lot of value when you're starting out.
Huge.
You just don't have it. You have to develop it and work at it, and then find your niche and figure it out. So that was it, building the confidence over time. But how else do you build confidence? And then getting out there and having great mentors, and then going to show houses, going to do open houses, going on inspections, right? I've been on 150 inspections now. Now I talk like an inspector when I'm at my showings because I've, it's not the same obviously, but it's valuable information that you now become an expert in somebody's biggest decision. So
yeah, I think going on inspections is massive when you get into the business.
Invaluable.
If I was getting into the business now, I would just want to go on every single agent's inspections. I'll do it for free. I'll do it pro bono. It doesn't matter because being able to show a house, like you said, like an inspector, I'm the least handy person you've ever met. But when you see me show a house, like I'm talking like an inspector. I get it. The kitchen's done, the bathroom's done, but to get to the nitty gritty, roof, windows, furnace, AC, wiring, plumbing, water management, all that stuff, that's what we're looking for. Right. So such a good point. That answer is absolutely 100% nailed because it comes down to confidence. And in this business, you can only get the confidence from the reps. Right?
Great point. The reps,
from being in the deals, whether the offer's accepted or you lose the offer, that's still a rep, and that's invaluable. But that answer, in my opinion, absolutely nailed with confidence. Now, when did it stop feeling like, you know what, maybe I'll try this to? No, this is it. This is what I want to do.
It probably took me 3 or 4 years to really feel, because you start off with investors. Okay, and now I nailed that. Now you're starting out mostly with buyers and regular buyers, different perspective, different price points, different negotiating tactics, and then you get into selling. right? Like listing properties. And that's a different perspective too. Now you're on the other side of the coin and you're negotiating for your seller versus the buyer. So it really, those three phases take time, right? You don't start off just getting a bunch of listings typically. So I would say about 3.5 years where I finally felt like, okay, I'm an actual real estate agent that adds value regardless of what spectrum we're operating in, selling, buying, investing, first time buyers, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But it took a while. Yeah.
Yeah. No, not all agents are created equal. I typically stay in my own lane. I'm a residential or new construction agent, but I don't really, and work with investors as well, but not as much as you. But I don't do commercial. I have no desire to do it. I don't think I'm very good at it. I'm sure I can do it, but the passion's not there for me. Now, you being kind of a double-edged sword here with residential, resale, new construction, have the knowledge of actually building houses as well, and investors. How did that all come to be? And are you able to, and we touched about this a little bit, how you look at even the resale as an investment, as we all should. How'd that all come to be? And what excites you about working with investors, and what excites you about working with residential resale?
So what was the first part of the question there?
Just being so diverse.
Oh,
being so diverse, because that's not normal. It's not normal to have such a fantastic knowledge about the residential resale and just as much knowledge about investor clients, right? So
it's a good question, actually. It honestly just happened naturally. I had no intention, but I think you just work with investors, you make a good impression, and then you're a realtor. So then, hey, my mom's looking to sell, my mom's looking to buy. You did a good job for us. Maybe you can help them. And then next thing you know, it's just a normal non-investor client, and then you're helping them out. And then really, it's almost all referrals. In terms of business. So
there's a point there you're probably 90%.
Yeah, it was almost all
investors. I mean, as a matter of fact, we made a hire just to help you on the investment side because it was just getting so awesome.
Yeah, it was 2020, 2021. Everybody was coming to Windsor to invest. Wild? And I was all over like social media and other forums, and I just the phone was nonstop ringing. It was crazy. Luckily, those days are gone because that was unsustainable. So yeah, just a natural transition, I would say.
Now, the biggest, we'll go back to the confidence thing. So confidence in real estate is absolutely number one to start. As you get busier, the conversations that we always have is balance, right? Like life balance, because it gets so insane. Obviously, we've got a social life, we've got a personal life, we've got a thriving business. How do you balance it all? And what do you do to kind of balance things out?
I don't have a lot of balance, really. I like working, and if it's 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, you can ask any of my clients. Like I'm answering my phone regardless. So that's one thing. However, like 2020, 2021, 2022, those years, it was too much, and there was definitely some burnout. Like I didn't stop for 3 years straight. We probably all didn't. It was out of control. So if that's the case, if you're really busy, you have to create the balance. And that might be limitations on answering your phone. I don't see myself doing it personally, but we have some good things here too, right? We have systems here. We've got an administrative team that helps with, there's a lot of paperwork that goes with every transaction. There's lawyers, there's FinTrack, there's the accepted offer. And then if a deal doesn't close for 3 months, there's all the communication between there as well.
Yeah.
So it's a lot.
Yeah. I think balance is created from the help that you have around you, right? Like could you imagine doing this amount of business and like, with having to take care of the marketing and the paperwork and the closing gifts and everything that comes with the beauty of real estate. You
can imagine it, but it'd be terrible.
You'd be so burnt out. I've been there before where it's like, oh my God, like enough is enough. So help in real estate. Once you get the confidence, I think next step is always to hire that help and surround yourself with a good team around you.
Agreed.
Right. What do you love most about it today? 2025, April.
It's just, it's dynamic. Everything's, I love negotiating. I like getting a good deal. And I like when my clients know we got a good deal and they feel it and then I feel it and we've done a great job negotiating. That's what gets me fired up. Yeah. Everything else is like, you just, it's kind of like par for the course now, but the negotiations are where you make your money, I think, as a realtor, whether it's terms, conditions, deposits, closing dates, and of course, price.
Yeah. To explain to somebody that your true value is actually negotiating. that's a different level, right? That's
It really
a different
is.
level.
It really is. And you can tell when sometimes when you're dealing with another agent, maybe a newer agent, you can tell like, hey, they don't have a lot of experience in this negotiating realm. And it's hard to teach that too. I think it's like you said, reps. I think that's a great word.
Yeah.
Reps get you where you need to be.
A new agent looking to get into real estate, what would you tell him or her?
Join a great team.
Oh.
Get a great mentor.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be number one. And then get the reps in, whether it's inspections, open houses. Just got to do it and do it and do it. And there's going to be a lot of mistakes that you make. There's going to be a lot of trial and error. And then you're going to look back in 3-4 years and be like, okay, I made it.
Show up, right? That's your tuition is making yourself available to do all those things. I mean, that'll expedite the process for any new agent.
Yeah, and anything too. It's not just real estate. If you wanted to make it to the NHL, you don't think they show up every day, practice every day of the week? You think you're going to just show up as a part-timer and reach the pinnacle? It's not likely to happen. So just like anything, show up every day.
If you could go back to new agent Scott, if you can give him one tip, your day one in the office, what would you tell him to expedite your process?
It would be show up every day, which I just did.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. I guess it's kind of my nature, like a hard worker, independent, that kind of thing. So I just showed up in the office every day, and good times or bad, whether I'm busy or not, I'm showing up here, picking up little pieces here and there, just even hearing some of your conversations. Oh, that little tidbit, right? And I never copy anybody, but you take little bits and pieces from everybody and you make your own kind of formula out of it subconsciously.
And I think it's still the same today. I mean, we hear everybody's conversations in the office. We actually welcome it, right? The doors are typically open. I hear how you talk to clients, and Chris, the Chantel, Katrina, everybody down the line. And I take stuff every single day. I mean, I know if I have a tough question or a tough situation, I'm still selling. Every deal is different. I know I can go down the line here and knock on somebody's door and get that answer, because we've all have so much experience and so much reps. I mean, yeah, but showing up. So I think back then we were just at the kitchen island and in the office on Wyandotte, and we would all just hammer out real estate.
Yeah.
It was,
I still have back pains from those.
those were like the Chuck Roadhouse barstool specials right there.
Yeah, no back at all.
You get all struck tube, metal ones. They're super light, just terrible, absolutely terrible. Now, being in real estate for a number of years now, how do you stay sharp? How do you stay hungry? How do you keep growing? Where do you see real estate going for you in the next 5 to 10 years?
I stay sharp I love the economy. I love the macro. I love looking at that stuff first. What's going on from a political standpoint, macroeconomics, GDP growth, all those things. So I just that naturally like that. So that keeps me sharp when I'm talking to somebody. I know exactly what's going on, where are rates going, where are they heading. Here's what the predictions are. Here's why rates might rise right now, because of inflation might tick up because they're printing too much money. So that's kind of where I start, and that keeps me sharp because I'm always on top of what's about to happen, or try to be. And what was the second part of that question?
Where do you how do you stay hungry?
I just am. Well, I guess it's I have goals. I have big picture goals, and if I had to label it, it'd be financial freedom. Mm-hmm. So the goal is you take your earned income and turn it into passive income over a long period of time. So when your goal is to you have a goal for the money that you're earning, that keeps you sharp, keeps you in the game. If you don't have a goal, it's kind of like, okay, what are you doing? Where's the end goal? You're just kind of sailing with no destination. Yeah. So I think that's what keeps me hungry, grounded.
Goals. Super important. That's awesome. You're a special breed, man. You're a special agent. I said before, not all agents are created equal. You're the upper echelon, and I think just the verbiage that you have and the knowledge that you have about the macroeconomics of a market bring extreme value to clients. Again, that's one of one in my opinion. There's 1,400 of us, and you stand out by far. It's been fun to watch, honestly, and it's been an honor, to be honest. Now the industry is always changing. Anything you've done to adapt in the past couple of years to an industry that's always changed? There's always a lot of noise out there. There's always, I think right now it's all AI and this, that, the other. I think AI is a great tool. I still think the belly to belly and the phone will never go away.
Oh yeah, AI is a tool, like you said. It doesn't replace you; it enhances you.
Yeah.
I think.
Do you use any of that stuff?
Oh yeah, all the time. Mostly for research. It can summarize, 2 hours of research into 2 minutes.
This whole podcast is actually developed on ChatGPT, so that's
yeah, exactly. But we still have to do it.
You still have to do it, and I still have to go in and be like, listen, I know who I'm interviewing. I don't need to get into that, and I just break it down.
Yeah, and if you wanted to, you could spend 4 hours and come up with this outline. But what's the value in that, right?
Yeah.
Our value is, like you said, face to face and or screen to screen,
yeah.
Whatever the case is. It's not developing an outline. And when you get to a certain level, you would have an assistant that would do this, for instance. So it's almost like an assistant in a lot of ways, but you're still the person.
Yeah.
So
now we're going to wrap this up. Okay. We're going to do some
Thank
low. I know this is hard for you. And again, zero notice. I love it. Quick hits. Okay. Best piece of real estate advice you've ever received.
I don't want to use one of these cheesy lines now.
Use it.
Don't wait to buy. No, I can't do it. Real estate, from an investor perspective, real estate isn't get rich quick. It's get rich for sure. I believe that. You hold a property for 20 years. It's going to make you more money than any other investment vehicle, in my opinion.
Love that. One thing agents should stop doing immediately.
So many things. Oh man. Oh yeah. I think I hate it when they say now's a good time to buy, now's a good time to sell.
Yeah.
It's always from an agent's perspective. It seems like everybody's always touting that.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's very personal whether it's a good time to buy or sell. And there's so many variables that you can't just blanket statement something like that. In my opinion,
I just get so excited when I talk to you. I love your perspective. If you weren't in real estate, what do you think you'd be doing today?
Definitely investing. However, being a real estate agent got me out of what I wanted to do, which was be a police officer. I don't know if I would have actually done it once my mindset shifted. It would be some form of investing, building, developing, something like that.
Go back to speaking of mindset. Real estate is all confidence, and it's also mindset. Confidence, mindset, and showing up. I think if you have those three, I think it's a recipe for success.
Then it's just time. Yeah.
Residential or investment clients, 50-50, or is there one that fires you up a little bit more?
They're all great. I mean, investors aren't really that active right now, as we know with the rate hikes. But no, it's like asking you, do you have a favorite child? Right? You like different traits.
Sienna. No, I'm joking.
You like different traits differently, probably, but equally.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same thing for both clients. I love the cold-hearted approach of investment property, but then I like the warm feeling of getting to know somebody and somebody's family.
And it's great to have that mix. And it's great the service to, like you said, to an investor client that can translate over to a residential client, vice versa too, right? You can take some stuff from a residential client that can relate to an investment client. It's great to have both of those. What book have you read that changed how you think? I know we touched on this a little bit, but is there?
Yeah, Rich Dad Poor Dad was the first one that's flipped my mind, and then the Bitcoin Standard, which isn't really. It's not all about Bitcoin. It's actually about the monetary system and how it works and how corrupt it is, and how all of the policy decisions lead to inflation, which hammers your savings account. But I didn't understand it. Everybody thinks they know what inflation is, but they don't understand it at a deep level. Definitely a recommended book. If you read through that, and you're probably gonna have your mind blown, and then you can't look back and see things the same way you did before. So those are the big ones. I think there's a third one, but I can't remember right now.
You prefer books or podcasts?
Podcasts, 100%. Books, I have to have like a really strong recommendation.
What's your favorite podcast? The one that you hate missing?
There's a couple, but Anthony Pompliano does one that's fantastic. He just brings on like very high level guests, business people, economists, and mostly about money, finances, and business.
A business book every entrepreneur should read.
What was the one I just read one. Drawing a blank here. Yeah. Yeah, I can't think of the name. I mean, the two I mentioned, the Bitcoin Standard and Rich Dad Poor Dad, they are business books.
Yeah.
And if you're not an advanced investor already, those are probably like good starting points.
And even with Rich Dad Poor Dad, I mean, I know you buy that book for people all the time, right?
Oh yeah. I would give it to clients.
Yeah.
You could tell when they're on the precipice of like having their mind shifted. They know they're missing something. They want to do something, but their mind hasn't changed yet. Drop them off with that book and
spread the word.
Watch a change happen.
Spread the word. Morning reader or late night scroller?
Late night scroller for sure.
Me too.
And early morning scroller and afternoon scroller.
I'm a doom scroller too. Favorite restaurant?
Oh man. I mean, Poppy Steakhouse was great. It had to be Carbone. Like Carbone blew my mind. Unless you're talking local, of course.
No, that's just, yeah.
Carbone was fantastic.
Yeah,
Miami.
that was a good experience. Favorite spot for a post deal celebration?
Well, what's our spot there?
You're going for a little nightcap. You're going for a little nightcap.
Yeah,
locally.
something like Wineology. Yeah, we have a couple other ideas.
Stay out of Miami. We're gonna leave Miami there. Coffee order, basic or bougie?
It's bougie for
yeah,
sure.
You are bougie. Starbucks guy, eh?
Yeah, big time. Yeah. Although I feel like it's going downhill a little bit.
Yeah. Service or quality?
Quality.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty good.
Yeah. Likes big bucks and he cannot lie. It's a favorite sports team.
Lions, Leafs,
yeah.
Blue Jays, like Toronto, everything except for obviously NFL.
Yeah. Let's go Lions. Let's go Lions. Early riser or night owl?
Right now it's kind of both, but yeah.
That'll catch up to you.
More of a night owl, yeah, for sure.
Time you up in the morning.
7:15-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, which isn't that early, I guess, but
yeah.
It's early for me.
It's not bad when you yeah. I mean, I'm up at 7 with 3 kids hanging off of me.
Ouch.
Go-to stress reliever when the job gets heavy.
Just alone time. To be honest, just a little bit of decompression.
Yeah. Same.
Just leave me alone. That's all I need. A couple hours to myself.
Trish will even chirp me a little bit. Oh, it's my decompression time. Like she'll chirp me all the time. But yeah, I'm the exact same. Just put on Bravo and like
100%.
Let's watch some Housewives. Am I right?
Yeah. Some people go socialize and to decompress. Not me. It'd be the opposite. So yeah.
Scott, you're a next level agent. It's been
learn from the best.
It's been great watching. It's been great doing it alongside you. We're at that point now, and we just co-listed something. That was an awesome experience. And again, we got that done at probably 10 p.m. at night that night. So I mean, we're built the same. When the phone rings, we pick it up, and when it's time to work, it's time to work, and when it's time to relax, it's time to relax. Just don't be around me and leave us alone. I want to be alone, when everybody goes to bed. Appreciate you, love you.